Hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Witch's Cottage. My name is Melissa, and I am the Holistic Witch. And let's talk about some connections. Today, at the time of this recording, it is May 24th. It's early, it's 8 a.m.-ish. Where I'm at, I'm still in my warm winter pajamas, wrapped up under several blankets because it is very chilly this morning. So in the United States, it is a holiday weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, also known as Decoration Day in some circles. Traditionally, in at least my part of the United States, this is often seen as the first day of summer festivities. Often this is when beaches, public beaches, state park beaches, swimming pools open, and yesterday the temperatures maxed out at about 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is chilly. I'm surprised we didn't see any snow. We also have had a very rainy forecast, which will tie into my connections in a bit. So maybe we'll look at the rain as a cleansing, which this nation probably needs in some ways. But as far as getting that warm and fuzzy feeling of a nostalgic national holiday known for picnics and outdoor activities and grilled food and barbecue. Maybe in some parts of the country that's happening, but it will not be happening at the cottage today. No, it will not. So let's talk Let me talk about that again in English that hopefully isn't mumbled and babbled. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Memorial Day. I got some conflicting research today because sometimes when you search it, AI seems to take over all the responses now. For the purpose of this podcast, let's just say that it is a day in the United States that was intended to honor those killed in military service. And over time, in some places, it's evolved more to Decoration Day, a time for decorating the gravestones, decorating the cemeteries. And tomorrow in my area, at least, there will be some military services, some Memorial Day services happening at monuments and happening in cemeteries. Some of my research traces this back to the end of the Civil War and some where it was declared as a national holiday, much more current to this present time than that. But again, I found some conflicting research. So if it's something that interests you, go ahead and take a look at that yourself and see how it corresponds with your life, your practice, your path. And if you want to incorporate Memorial Day into your magical practice, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So I looked up some magical correspondences for things we normally do, traditions that we normally have here at the cottage. Now I have to say, this one's a little weird for me. Since my husband and I have been together, and that's over 20 years now, we have always gone out and taken plants, flowers, whatever. We've always visited the graves together. The weather sort of I hope it's just the weather that changed that, and it's just not another tradition that we're choosing to do our own separate ways on, which seem to be more and more. all the time. But not only is it chilly, but with the rains, there was some flood predictions and some storm predictions. I was a little concerned about putting the planters out on the graves too early, simply because they would be destroyed by the weather. So hubby, on his way to work today, was going to take planters out to do his side of the family, and I will probably do mine later today. Now they're calling for severe storms tonight, so I'm not sure if I want to hold off until maybe even tomorrow morning. Now, years ago, when my father-in-law was still alive, I've told this story before, I said that I put a planter of tomatoes on my father's grave because gardening was one of the few things that I think I remember bringing joy to my dad, and he used to plant over 100 different plants. Well, usually 12 dozen, so 144 tomato plants at his family's homestead. And so I had put a tomato plant on his grave one year, and my mother got very angry at me. She said it was embarrassing. Most of the things that I did were embarrassing, but my father-in-law seemed to think that was a cool idea, also being a gardener and a fan of growing tomatoes. He thought that was an awesome idea, and he says, when my time comes, you do that for me too. So we do. So with the rising cost of everything, my trip to the greenhouse was much more than I expected it to be. I usually make my own planters. So I got some big boy tomatoes. I got a 4-pack. So I ended up putting two in each planter. So 2 for my dad and 2 for my father-in-law. And I added some white hibiscus, also called splash or polka dot plant, just to sort of fill in the empty spaces. And we'll talk about the magical correspondences of those in a bit. I picked up geraniums, which I normally don't do, but because of the cold weather and the weather conditions, I decided to go with a hardier plant this year. My mom traditionally always put one scrubby sketch. She used to buy the discounted ones, so they were usually in pretty bad shape. My mom always put geraniums on the grave and didn't give much attention to it. It was more like an obligation thing. If you followed me at all, my mom was big on appearances and obligation. I'm not sure how the appearance part, I get the obligation of, it's Memorial Day, I have to stick a geranium on the grave. But I never quite understood the appearance part, that she could afford undamaged plants, and she always picked up the worst looking ones, and so there was some issue behind that. I picked up nice geraniums. Actually, I wish they had been a little bit smaller, because I'm a little bit concerned if there is a big storm, they're going to get broken. But we'll see how that goes. And then I picked up petunias for another project, red, white, and blue petunias. And I had some extras, so I made a small planter with red, white, and blue petunias for joy. And my dad had a little brother who died in a tragic accident. This would have been during the Depression time. I believe he was 3 years old. So I always make a point to make sure that I put something on the little child's grave, even after all these years. I've been doing this forever. Feels like forever. And so I always do that. So let's get into the magical correspondence of these plants. If you decide to treat the gravestone, the cemetery place, as an ancestral altar, the first thing I would advise is check for the rules of the cemetery or the placement. My dad, well, both of my parents, because they're buried next to each other, but my dad served in World War II, so he is in the military section of the local cemetery, and they have stricter rules than the other parts of the cemetery. So I try to do a good job of observing them. So some people like to put stones or glassware or candles in addition to plants or flowers on the graves. In the military section, we're not permitted to do that, and they'll just throw it away. So I just stick to the planters there. So tomatoes correspond as warding and protection plants. So that's a good thing to know in your garden if you're choosing to use it as a cemetery altar piece or in your cooking. Tomatoes are for protection and warding of negativity and lower vibrations. Okay? And then the hypostas, the white polka dot plant, is remembrance and joy. So I thought those would correspond nicely together, and that's what I have in my planters for the fathers. Now, for my mom and my husband's grandparents, because I had kind of a neat special relationship with his maternal grandmother. So I usually do pansies or violets or something more joyful, but again, I chose to go with the hardier plant this year. Geraniums also have a similar correspondence for warding, for protection, and staving off negativity. Specifically red geraniums, which is what I purchased this year, are protection plants. Now, white geraniums signify more new beginnings and purification, and the pink is often used in love spells, and the petals and the leaves can be used for blessing, purification, and infusions. But this year I stuck with red, so we're doing warding and protection and honor. And the petunias for the little child, for the little child's headstone, are just symbolizing joy this year. So if you decide to do a graveside altar, you can choose your plants and flowers by correspondence, or you can choose candles for remembrance and honor, or special stones, or special glassware, whatever has significance to you in your practice would be appropriate. But I do ask that people follow the rules, because I know people that are the lawn care. I don't know if that's the landscaping professionals at the cemeteries, and it's really difficult for them if you don't follow the rules. And we know that happens here locally, and it creates a bit of a mess. Let me adjust my headset. It's drifting. Okay. Now, my father is in the military section, so there are flags posted at every stone for those who served in the military. My mom did not, so there's no flag at her stone. My paternal grandfather, who I never met because I believe he passed during World War I or slightly thereafter. I know that my grandmother raised the children on her own. So I believe that. I believe that's the case, although no one ever talked about it much. And there's also a flag on his stone. Now, flags are often used as conduits of power or channeling. So if a loved one does have a flag on their stone or near their stone, like my father does, you can use that as channeling through the veil. You can use it as a power conduit to amplify whatever it is you're projecting at that stone, if that makes sense. So we don't put the flags in. The flags are there, but I did some research on that and the metals that are used, and you can use that as a conduit to increase your protection or whatever you choose to do with that. So I'm not sure when I'm going to make my visits. It's raining hard again right now, and the weather has been terrible. The part of the cemetery where my dad's little toddler brother is often floods over the years. That's a problem, and they'll probably eventually relocate those. So I hope to get out there today, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. So if you're going out to the cemeteries for visits or to leave decorations or to do ancestral altars, in my case, wishing you well. And, if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out on that. So now let's talk about a little more pleasant part of this holiday. So I would love to be at the beach, or I would love to be in the kayak, but it's supposed to be warmer today. I think we're going to get into the higher 50s, so that'll be a blessing. But not much will be happening here today. But if I was able to I guess I could do them in the house, but it's not so fun. The traditional picnic patio grilling foods. Let's talk about that. That can be part of your magical practice as well. So grilled meat is very grounding for stability and power. So who knew that grilling the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the sausages, or vegan, vegetarian options can be a symbol of power. The bread, the rolls, the hot dog buns, the hamburger rolls. Wheat, grains, always abundance. Corn, if it's in season, which I don't even know where we would get corn right now, and it would probably be gross. So, but if you're in an area where you can do corn on the cob, it's also an abundance amplifier, especially if you pair it with your flags around your patio. Flags can be used as conduits of power to amplify whatever you're doing. I didn't know that, but now I'm going to add that to my practice, because we have flags everywhere. Okay, cool. So potato salad, macaroni salad, often for abundance as well. Okay. Coleslaw, prosperity. Fruit salads for joy and love, and depending what you mix in them, even new beginnings and love spells, if that's your thing. So, that's a little way to play with the traditional Memorial Day patio food in your magical practice. Also, I wish that I can spend some warm, soothing time out in nature, connecting with nature. I don't mind the cold temperatures, but severe storms and floods, that's a different thing. So I'm just going to look at those storms and those floods as a purification of nature, a cleansing of everything icky that's happening right now, and sending out protection to those who need it. Floods can be scary, and it can be a devastating thing no matter where it happens, and there have been too many in the United States in the last 5 to 10 years. Too many devastating floods. So a purifying rain is a good thing, but floods, no. So sending protection out for that. Some other things going on with this weekend. In my state of Pennsylvania, it's Free Fishing Day. I talked to Kiddo about doing that, but again, the weather might put a hold on that. We were going to get fishing licenses this year, and they're pretty pricey. I think we will do it, but we have some other things going on. We're going to have to replace our roof, and the insurance company didn't come through as well as I had hoped. I had done a reading on that, and I thought that was going to turn out a different way, but I did a second reading on it and said things aren't over yet. Don't give up. So we'll see what that means. It's a little cryptic. So it's Fish for Free Day in Pennsylvania, and the other thing I saw was today is National Brothers Day. So again, tying into magic and connections, I am no contact with my brother, and he is 15 years older than me, but I have been no contact with my brother for at least several years now, and it actually happened during Memorial Day weekend. It happened because of Memorial Day. And I won't give up too much juicy family gossip, but when my mom was getting older and she had some serious medical issues, and we knew it wouldn't be too much longer that she would pass over to another realm, she had asked me, like, he was always the favorite, I think, but she had asked me to check on him and make sure he was okay. So I tried to honor her with that, and I did that for quite a while, probably six to 7 years after she passed. I was in regular communication with him. Without sounding bratty, I feel like my brother can be a little bit of a bully. That can be the age difference. That can just be the political spectrum here in the United States, or simply the way that we were raised. I also feel that my mother coddled him to the point that he was not able to do a lot of things for himself, and that's why she wanted me to keep in touch with him so I could assist him with things. So my brother, when Mom passed, I believe they were still in Maryland, but they're in Florida now, so that's quite far from Pennsylvania where the graves are. In the beginning, he just had a florist taking care of things. That kind of fell apart, and some of that fell to me. I've been taking care of the graves since I moved back to Pennsylvania. That's almost 35 years now. Now, I don't mind doing it, so I don't want this to sound like a chore. I don't mind doing it. I like the honor of doing it. But when my mom passed, he had sort of decided that I wasn't allowed to do the graves anymore. He was going to take that over. But only my mom's. Like, there was no thought to the others. And I tried to work with him for years on on that. And then it just became bullying and him not paying his bills. He would order very expensive, ridiculously large baskets or planters. And they were expensive, and he wasn't paying the bills. So I was getting stuck with those. And it got to the point where he was cussing out my kiddo on the phone or yelling at us by text and trying to micromanage everything from 1,000 miles away. And I said, it's enough. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not assisting you with this anymore. And it got nasty, and I said, that's it. I'm done. No more bullying. I'm not going to allow you to bully me anymore. So, when people go through situations like this, I always tell them mundane before magic. So, we live in a technologically centered world, so there are ways to block people who behave that way. And I did those things, and I did some magical protections too. Now, there have been times that he has tried to sneak through with other people or change email addresses or things like that to try to sneak through, and I just discard them. I don't really care what he has to say. But today is National Brothers Day, so those of you that have strong relationships with your siblings, with your brothers, I honor that. That's wonderful. But if you feel like you've been in a traumatic or a power-centric relationship where your brother or other family members have tried to use or control you, and you decide to walk away from that, again, Memorial Day can be a wonderful time to do that. I just listed geraniums and tomatoes and other plants and other foods of power that can help to establish that protection ward that you may need, that you may find helpful. And if the tomatoes and the geraniums don't resonate, go use your favorite, I Google things, but use your preferred search tool and type in something like magical correspondences of foods that repel negativity, foods that correspond with protection, plants that correspond with protection, colors that correspond with protection. You can really choose anything that resonates with you to set up those wards and protections that you need. So not the cheeriest, happiest of the podcast, because it's sort of a somber holiday, and in my part of the world, a frigid, rainy, cold, somber holiday. But however you're celebrating, if you choose to, I wish you well. I hope that you find connections on your journey. I had actually planned to go to the cemetery and take pendulum and board and try to do some readings from my car. But with the bad weather, I know that I won't carry enough 5G to be able to do that. And then I thought maybe it was a little disrespectful anyway to do that at the holiday. But I am going to do that in another time. I have a place where I would like to try that. It's one of the oldest cemeteries that I know of in my region, and that could be interesting to see what comes through. So wherever you are, I wish you well. Happy holidays and blessings on your journey. Momo slept through this one. Yay! Bye-bye.